All right, so basically everything stays the same as I talked to you yesterday, texted you yesterday. As far as we're concerned, the 3-day notice is just what it is, a 3-day notice. It's simply step 1 of what could potentially be step 2, step 3. If somehow everything kind of cures itself, then we don't have to go to step 2 and step 3. However, you're not going to wait some endless amount of time before we talk to the owner and say, hey, do you want us to file? Once we file, you as tenants inherit the filing fee, and then we get into obviously a court date in which all 3 of us appear, none of us appear, well, all appear, but whoever wants to appear will appear. And then if the writ is issued, you have 7 to 10 days to physically move, and we would extract all existing tenants and all occupants. Like I said, if we can come to some type of meeting of the minds quickly in the short term, then we don't have to go through all those gymnastics. If, based on what you were saying yesterday, and based on what you were saying, I don't know that we're going to wait very long, because the longer we wait, the longer the court system backs up. I went to court on one probably last week. It was delayed a little bit because of all the backlog, but now they're funneling through in them, and they're doing a series of 20 in courtroom B, 20 in room A. So they're clicking along finally, because these landlords were just in disastrous condition. They're not collecting rents, and they can't take possession of their property back without going through the proper process. So the big thing with this situation here is either potentially you elect to go on your own and they stay, or we take care of the whole shooting match. Everybody goes under the eviction. And that would basically be 2 active tenants and all occupants.
And a child. Don't forget about the
Well,
child.
I can't talk about.
I mean, no, I know, but
Yeah,
she's still in the play though.
Right, I can't.
You're putting everybody out.
Right. I mean, I can't get into a minors or a protected class. Obviously, being a parent, I'm not looking for any of that to happen. But that's outside of my scope. Like I said, it's basically the violations have already been put in place, which allow us to act on them if we go that route. And I know you kind of have your opinions, they have their opinions, but not only do we have potentially yourself, but potentially another occupant, is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that really, I mean, it just muddies up the water, and I've been through this a number of times. I've been through this with mother and sons, girlfriend, boyfriend, any situation you can think of, and you get to the point really of it's not a matter of favoring her, favoring you. It's quite frankly, it's you, clear violation of lease. So if one goes, everybody goes.
And what are step 2 and step 3?
Step 2 is up to you and her. Just tell me, Dan, everybody's made different arrangements. Angie potentially is elected to move on with her and her occupant, and kind of shut things down. I haven't talked to the owner yet because I'm trying to get a pulse of where we all stand. But again, my concern is it doesn't sound like it's getting any better.
Well, as I explained yesterday, I tried to, I'm always keeping them updated of what I have going on. So I let them know, that my van needed to be fixed. Like I even messaged her and told her, like, my van has to be fixed. I even expressed that, because it's the pandemic, things are just delayed.
The pandemic was here when you came in June.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was here
But
when you signed
even-
30 days ago.
Yeah,
So
but
don't-
okay,
No, no, no.
I'm talking to him.
And
I'm talking to you.
Right.
But like I was saying, even now, if you call now, it's still the same thing. They're like, well, we can't see your vehicle till like next week. So it's just like a delayed process. But like I had expressed before that I was going to get my van towed today to the shop. So it's not something that is going to happen anymore because the van has electrical issues. And in order to fix it, it's like you have to go through this process of tweaking and figuring out what it is, which can take hours. And that's money that I'm not willing to put into it because it's like not worth it. So at this point, I'm just going to sell it and just take it as a loss, and then I'll be on my way. So if I can't sell it in here soon, then I'm just going to junk it or whatever and just take it as a loss and be on my way. But, you know, I tried to reason, but there's like,
You never reasoned, so don't say that.
I did.
You did not.
I did, but
You
you,
did not.
like I'm talking to him.
She's talking.
I'm talking to him, and it's just been nothing but a lot of negative energy and like harassing type of behaviors, you know. So I'm a peaceful person. Like I mind my business. I stay in the room. I don't bother them, but I don't get that same in return. So, you know, at this point, you know, when you're constantly getting your pushed and poked, you know, I'm not gonna be fair anymore. I'm just gonna be a bitch too if that's how y'all are gonna be to me.
Right. And it's kind of as I said yesterday, you know, you have your opinions as to your quote unquote legal rights to occupy the unit. I have mine. Attorneys will have theirs. Judge will have his. Like I said, my big concern is the longer I wait to file, it's just going to, the process is going to slow down, because anybody that's going to come to me and they're going to say, and I'm saying this amongst all three of them, the only thing I'm thankful for is we're at least having this discussion. A lot of cases you don't have these discussions. I'm affording everybody one discussion, and then I'll get hold of the owner and I'll say, hey, this is what I see, this is what I hear, and I don't see any quick, clear path here. And carefully said, the van has a lot to do with you, not a whole lot to do with the existing situation we have. It may allow you to move on, which would be good, but it's outside our normal scope here. You know? So, and like I said, if I got a better vibe, you know, I'd say maybe I can slow this train down. But again, my concern is we're at September 29th and we're having the same discussion October 20th. Nothing's any better. It may get worse. And meanwhile, I could have filed this thing, and unfortunately, for one or for all, they gotta go. Everybody's gotta go, because again, to you guys, clear violation, potential subletting. There's violation as far as I'm concerned. An occupant, in your opinion, legal or not, occupying a unit that is rented to two other tenants doesn't fly. But that'll be in the eyes of the court. You know?
What do you do if the person didn't leave and just say I don't leave?
Oh, everybody will leave.
No, I'm just saying, like,
if they have to do a physical set out,
no, I'm just
which
saying.
would be disastrous, they can. It's expensive to the owner. He could potentially come after you guys for any judgments, for any expenses incurred. Not saying all that has to happen, not saying all that's gonna happen, but again, I just don't get the sense that this is gonna go mellow.
Why not?
From a timing standpoint. Because nobody's telling me, hey Dan, short of the van situation. Hey Dan, yes, me and the other occupant have elected to leave, part ways, and this is going to happen by X day. Then I can turn everything off, because we haven't filed yet. The minute I file, we're not turning anything off, because we have to have the legal recourse to keep going. A, get the court date. B, get the hearing. C, get the judgment. Oh, I'm sorry, the writ, and or D, potentially do a physical set out if one or all parties don't think they're going anywhere.
I can give you a date. That's not a problem for me because I don't want to be here just as much as they don't want me here, and I've said this before. Because I don't care to keep on dwelling around negativity. That's not my path. So I can't give a date because I don't want them to get kicked out. That's not what I want. All I was asking is for some understanding, which I wasn't receiving that from them.
I thought we did that 30 days ago when you signed the paper.
Well, let me go to that point.
I thought that was.
Let me go to that point for just a second.
You wouldn't even give me a. It wasn't even a full 30 days.
Doesn't mean anything.
It wasn't a full 30 days.
It may potentially mean something to you and to her. May mean something. As far as I'm concerned, to the courts, I don't think it holds water.
Yeah.
Because she's an occupant. To me, she's not a tenant. She may, in her defense, she thinks that she's established some type of legal residency by getting mail, right?
And paying rent.
You're not paying. You're not
I
paying
did.
fucking $150.
Excuse me, but you don't. I'm not talking to you all. If you're gonna use curse words and be aggressive and all of that, don't talk to me. But I do have proof that I paid rent in August.
Please prove it.
Okay, prove it.
I will.
Okay.
So, what is your?
I have
It's okay. Just
no, because I have the text messages that I sent to her saying I put $70 in the box. Then the next day I messaged her and I said I put that $10 that I gave you, give it to Helen to go towards the rent. She said okay. So
Right.
I do have proof that I paid some rent in August.
You never
Right,
got it,
and that
so you said it.
carefully said. I mean, that is strictly between you ladies. Nobody, you're not supposed to pay you rent.
Right.
Tenants are supposed to pay L&B rent. Subletting is not allowable in the term of the lease. So again, that's between all you guys, of course. And I can't say whether I know anything's true or not true. It's not up to me to say. Back to your thought of potential date of leaving, and then A, what are you thinking? And then B, that turns into what happens when that day comes and goes. That's my concern. Whereas once I file, we know there's going to be an ending to this situation. Do I want to do that? Rather not. If you and the other occupant can find your way to go coolly, quietly, whatever the case is, then I'd rather not go through all that. But, like I said, my concern is just the climate that I'm hearing and seeing. It doesn't sound like it's going to go smooth.
Has nothing to do with me.
I'm sorry?
That has nothing to do with me.
Right. Well, and as I told her last night, theoretically, I would be dealing more with you guys under current situations, but you triggered the call, so I'm talking to everyone. If this young lady was being outlandish with me, we would have never had this discussion. I'm just trying to afford everybody one shot before I file.
And I hear what you're saying. And
Because, again, I know you have different standards of legal opinions, but to me, they're the tenants, which some people would say, why are you even talking to her? The reason I'm talking to her is because, again, we expressed together that this is the situation, and she reached out to me. Initially, I did not return the call because I wasn't sure potentially who we were dealing with. But now we're to square one or square two. What are we going to do here, ladies? You know, we're going to try it the easy way and move on, or and again, I may have, no matter what I hear, I still may have to make my judgment based on the owner's blessing to give us the legal power so this situation does come to an end, one way or another.
So either way it goes, it's really up to the owner. I mean, I could still say, hey, you know, I could leave in a couple of days, and it still would be up to him whether he wants to go through with it today or not.
Right.
But if he said,
Why not?
you leave in a couple of days, everything could be pulled back and squashed.
It would make it a lot easier to not have to go through all the fire.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm a very reasonable person, but I'm not dealing with reasonable people because they gave me a statement on September the 6th, and wanted me to be out on the last day of this month. That is not a full 30 days.
You could have disputed
But
that.
you could have disputed that when you signed
And
it.
I did. I
did
brought
it.
it
You
up to
signed
you
it.
all. Okay, because my
Okay.
son was here, and
I know.
and you was all the aggressiveness, and I'm not with it.
Lives here.
Zoe's here too.
Well,
Zoe's
she-
always
okay.
Here. Zoe's been through everything that.
All right. Well, my son was here, and I wasn't trying
I just
to
want this
just.
to
It
be
was
over.
too much
Like,
negativity.
I just
So.
want this to be over.
And that
Like,
goes back.
I can't even get into that room to get my stuff because of how you feel. You
No,
know what I mean?
if
No, Angie, come on now.
no,
You
it's
told me-
it's because you're aggressive, and that
It's
is
not-
why you are.
Oh my
You're
God,
very
Angie,
aggressive.
Like, we literally like.
And I
helped
don't
you,
wanna deal
and
with
you
that
feel like
energy.
you're helping us. Like we helped you out of the street, and you feel like we're helping.
No, you didn't
and
help me
you're
out of the
helping-
street. I didn't ask to stay here. I told y'all I
But
have
once
my
you-
van.
once you
Y'all
knew-
invited me
once
to
we
stay.
knew we didn't want you
guys.
here. You still
Yeah, all right,
decided to
it's not gonna
stay.
be
Like,
anything. It's not gonna be
Okay,
anything.
because
There's
y'all
no
said you
need
needed
to leave.
a. It would
and
be
you
good
said
for me to
you-
stay
you wanted
here.
a notice, and we gave you a 30-day notice, and you signed
It's
it.
not
and you
30
agreed to
days.
it.
It's not 30
In
days.
this paper, it says, due to a previous conversation on August 26th, which is a verbal conversation me and you and her had, due to a conversation on August 26th,
I have all
you decide,
of the
you're
proof.
gonna leave the property on September 30th.
I never said anything
and you
about
signed it.
leaving. I never
Flat
said
out.
anything about leaving.
Like,
I
that
said
was-
I
that
know
was
my
the-
rights,
that
and
was
I've
the
been here
way
for
it
over
was.
30
She
days.
say it's
No,
like-
I'm just
Right.
saying that was.
But
the
I
way
also
it-
have it in
You're
black
not
and white,
arguing
and I
with
can
it.
show it to you.
It's
If
not
you like to
arguing,
see
like-
all the proof that I have in
She's
black and
saying
white,
we being, like,
I can show
we're
it to
being,
you to
like,
verify
mean,
my
you know,
story.
like,
I said I have
aggressive
30
to her.
days.
When we
I mean, I
gave
said
her
I've been
proof,
here
when
for
we
over
gave
30
her
days.
time, you
I'm
know?
getting
And
mail
it
here.
sucks
You
that
can't just
she's
kick
doing
me out.
this.
That's what I
We've
said.
been nothing
But they
but-
turned it into,
Until
oh, you
she
want 30
tried-
days. We got to give you a 30-day notice, and that's not what I said.
How you help somebody and turn around and they do something like this to you?
It
Like,
wasn't
that's just-
helping me. I had my
that's just
van.
devil.
Just leave it alone, man. There's no point in arguing.
Yep.
I never asked to
When
stay
you say
here.
she says
I have
never.
my van.
Arguing.
Right.
I chose to live in my van. I chose to live the van life. I did not ask to stay here. They asked me to stay here.
Right. So, and I'm asking, I'm not telling you. We really don't know when we think we're going to leave to not have to go through. In reality, correct?
No, because like when I'm determined to do something, I can make it happen. But like I said, if they're gonna keep being bitchy towards me and aggressive towards me and all this extra nonsense that doesn't need to occur because we're supposed to be adults here, then
She
you know,
is something. She's a work of art.
I know I am. But like I said, this is what I'm talking about.
And I don't talk to her because my daughter's here majority of the time. I one or two times I've lashed out and got in my feelings. But every day she is in her room. She doesn't get dealt. We don't bother her. We don't. She comes
And
in
I
my
don't
kitchen,
bother y'all.
uses all my equipment. I don't say nothing. You know what I mean?
And like I said,
there's-
I think that really is what I'll have to have a discussion with the owner about is like I said, not only do we have one additional occupant per her receiving mail based on a certain amount of time, which in the eyes of the court, that may mean a lot. I don't know what they're going to, I'm not an attorney, I can't say what it's going to mean to them. But it's really going to be, once I call the owner, and actually I'm going to call him when I leave, say, what do you want me to do here? And then that's really going to dictate how it goes. The other time, I've been in this a lot of times, the thing I'd rather not go through that, because quite frankly, by the time that happens, yes, we'll have an ending to it without fail. Everybody will go at some point. But however, we're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of money. You set yourself up for potential judgments. She's obviously may be somewhere else by then, and we're already to that point. That's what I'd rather not go through.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'd rather not it happen.
Yep,
You know, but I like I said, my van cannot be fixed, so it's gonna get sold. So this is why I've been trying to, like, I don't want to stay here, but like if you all keep pushing and pushing me, I can only move so fast. You know, I can't tell the damn guy that works on the cars, like, I need you to see my van right now, today. You know, it just doesn't work like that. And then, you know, it's like, oh, but you need to leave. It's just all this aggressive energy, and it doesn't have to be like that. You know, it doesn't even have to get to that point where she's being evicted out of here, because all it has to, if you just learn patience and then come, you know, just be understanding, that's all it takes. And it doesn't have to go left and into some big chaotic thing.
And that's where it's heading. So just being honest with you and her, because we have to take. Right now, nobody's in control of the reins of the horse. And she thinks she has potential rights, control, if you will, and you guys do as well. And ultimately, the real people who hold the power are the owner and the management company. As far as acting upon making sure this situation goes away. So, and like I said, it's very tough for me to keep waiting. And the next thing you know, here we are in October 26th, nothing's changed. And I've wasted all this time.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here that long, believe that. Because I don't want to keep dealing with the negative energy and then having my partner, who is innocent in this, come here and deal with negative energy from them too, and she doesn't deserve that.
And what makes you, this is an additional occupant, you mean?
Yeah, the additional occupant.
And what makes you think she has any legal right, he or she has any legal right to be here?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm not going to keep continuing to be here so that she can deal with the negative energy, because she's innocent in this. So she doesn't deserve to be treated like that. That's what I'm saying. So, like I said, you're talking about October 20th. I'm not trying to stay here that long, because she shouldn't have to go through all that negative energy. She didn't do nothing to none of these people in this house, yet constantly
how does she come and go, so to speak? Is it to occupying or staying here?
She has been here with me. She's been here for over a month.
And that puts a, like I said, that just puts a whole another spin. Now we're talking.
She was definitely someone we didn't agree to her being here. She came to visit.
Yeah, she came to visit, but she asked.
After we told her we wanted her to leave the premises, leave the house, she chose to tell the girl she could stay. She's gonna stay. We're gonna leave together.
No, because
that's basically what happened.
I had spoke with her not too long before my solar return, my birthday, in regards to my partner coming to here to live here too, because as I said, they had wanted me to roommate. The sister was moving out, and I was to roommate, and I had spoke with her about this. So, regardless of what she's telling you, like, I'm not just sitting here making stuff up off the top of my head. That is what she said. So. Now it's a whole different story, because things then hit the fan.
Right, and it's definitely a different story, because we have one additional occupant, and we have a second additional occupant. So it just muddies up the whole lot. So, like, we can go back and forth forever, as you all know. I'll make a call to the owner, bring him up to speed, and. Both him and me are pretty similar thoughts, so I think I know what the answer is going to be. We have to establish the recontrol of his property, one way or another. Sure would like to do it the easy way, but again, it's just my concern, because your van situation may be a short-lived situation, and it may not be.
Well, it's either going to get sold or scrapped, but I'm not going to sit and just keep waiting around. Like, if anything, I'll call the scrap yard and have them, because they'll immediately come and pick it up.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Well.
But I'm giving myself like you know, at least a week to try to find someone to sell it because I can make more money that way opposed to scrapping it. I'm only gonna get like $100 something or whatever for it. And if not, then I'm just gonna call it a loss and tell them to come pick it up.
Very good. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
Hello. Hello. Alrighty. Can I hear a smoke detector chirping